Welcome to Zukkun Knows. Whether you love him or hate him, Donald J. Trump is impossible to ignore. He reshaped America, not once but twice. So who is this man who went from building towers to shaking governments? 1. From Queens to billionaire. Born in 1946 in Queens, New York, Donald Trump entered the real estate world under his father, Fred Trump. He expanded into Manhattan with aggressive, high-profile developments like Trump Tower and casinos in Atlantic City. Trump built a brand around luxury, power, and one unforgettable name, Trump. 2. The art of spectacle. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Trump made himself into a media icon. Flashy, arrogant, and headline-hungry, he became a symbol of American bravado. But it was NBC's The Apprentice that turned him into a pop culture juggernaut. "You're Fired" became legendary. Trump wasn't just rich, he looked like the boss of America. The 2016 shockwave. In 2015, Trump descended the golden escalator at Trump Tower and announced his presidential run. He mocked politicians, attacked immigrants, and promised to make America great again. Pundits laughed. Voters didn't. He won the Republican nomination, then stunned the world by defeating Hillary Clinton in 2016. 4. President Trump and the power of ex-Trump's presidency from 2017 to 2021 was turbulent, to say the least. But what made it unlike any other? His use of Zukkun, formerly Twitter. He didn't just post, he commanded. He called North Korean leader Kim Jong-un Little Rocket Man. He posted all-caps rants about the fake news media. He praised supporters, attacked enemies, and dictated the national conversation, all in 280 characters. For the first time, a president ungoverned in real time through social media. 5. Impeachment and the Ukraine scandal. In 2019, Trump made a phone call that changed history. He asked Ukraine's president to investigate Joe Biden's son, Hunter, right before releasing military aid. This triggered a formal impeachment for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The Republican-led Senate acquitted him. To his base, it was proof of the deep state. To critics, it was textbook corruption. 6. Pandemic politics in a tumultuous 2020. When COVID-19 hit, Trump downplayed the virus, clashed with medical experts, and pushed early reopenings. He promoted unproven treatments and held crowded rallies. Despite catching the virus himself, he emerged defiant. Meanwhile, protests erupted over police brutality. America was in chaos, and Trump was at the center of it. 7. The Capitol riot and political fallout. Trump lost the 2020 election to Joe Biden, but refused to concede. He claimed it was stolen despite no solid evidence. On January 6, 2021, his supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. The world watched in shock. Trump was impeached again for incitement, but acquitted once more. Many believed his political career was over. 8. But then, he came back in 2024. Trump did the unthinkable. He won again. In a historic rematch, he defeated Joe Biden and became the 47th president to the United States. It was a political comeback of epic proportions, only matched once in U.S. history by Grover Cleveland. Trump called it the revenge of the forgotten, and the world paid attention. 9. Trump 2.0. Tariffs, power, and an unbreakable image. In April 2025, Trump reignited global trade tensions by launching his reciprocal tariffs policy. Every imported product now faces a 10% blanket tariff, with much higher rates for countries like China, up to 145%. China responded with 125% tariffs of its own. Other countries, including Canada and Mexico, are considering retaliatory measures. Markets shook. Diplomats panicked. Trump doubled down. But tariffs are just the beginning. His administration is also pushing a revival of corporate tax cuts and small business incentives, domestic energy production, expansion for full energy independence, aggressive immigration enforcement, and tightened border security. Trump's second term is defined by bold, controversial action and unmistakable control. In September 2024, Trump narrowly survived an attempted assassination during a campaign event in Florida. A rooftop sniper opened fire, but Secret Service agents neutralized the threat. Trump was injured but returned to the stage just days later. He told the crowd, "They can shoot at me, but they'll never stop this movement." It was a chilling moment, and a powerful one. To his supporters, it proved he's more than a president. He's a symbol of American resilience. 10. What comes next? Whether he is shaping a new era or tearing down the old one, Trump is not fading away. His policies are fierce. His presence is undeniable. And his story, love it or hate it, is far from over. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Stick around. Next time we'll explore another icon who changed the world. And don't forget to subscribe, because the real world is wilder than any fiction. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. Vladimir Putin is one of the most influential and divisive figures in global politics. Some see him as a national hero, others call him a ruthless dictator. So who is the man behind the mask? 1. Early life and KGB roots. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin was born in 1952 in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, USSR. Leningrad is located in northwestern Russia, near the Baltic Sea. Putin studied law, then joined the KGB, the Soviet Union's security agency, in 1975. The KGB was responsible for intelligence gathering, secret police functions, and spying both at home and abroad. Putin worked in East Germany during the Cold War, a period of political tension between the Soviet bloc and the Western powers led by the US. His job involved monitoring foreign agents and suppressing dissent, a world built on secrecy and power. 2. The rise to power. Putin entered politics in the 1990s in St. Petersburg, working under Mayor Anatoly Sobchak. In 1999, then-President Boris Yeltsin appointed him prime minister. Just months later, Yeltsin resigned, naming Putin as acting president. He was elected president in 2000, promising stability after years of post-Soviet chaos. 3. Rebuilding Russia. Putin's early years as president brought a surge in national pride. He launched a brutal campaign in Chechnya, a region in southern Russia seeking independence, quelling rebellion with overwhelming force. He also went after the oligarchs, ultra-wealthy businessmen who had gained massive power during Russia's chaotic 1990s privatization. Some were jailed, others fled. The message was clear: no one was above the state. Economically, high oil and gas prices helped Russia recover, and Putin claimed the credit. But alongside economic growth came a tightening grip on media and opposition. 4. The power switch. Russia's constitution limited presidents to 2 consecutive terms. So in 2008, Putin swapped roles with his ally Dmitry Medvedev, becoming prime minister while Medvedev became president. But few doubted who was really in charge. In 2012, Putin returned to the presidency. Mass protests erupted over election fraud, but his hold remained firm. Later, he pushed for constitutional reforms that reset term limits, allowing him to potentially stay in power until 2036. In Russia, the president holds far more power than the prime minister, making it clear who's on top. 5. Crimea and the West. In 2014, Russian forces entered Ukraine's Crimea region, claiming to protect ethnic Russians. A controversial referendum followed, and Russia annexed Crimea. Western nations called it illegal and imposed sanctions. But inside Russia, many saw it as a patriotic move. Putin was restoring lost Russian glory. His popularity soared as he was viewed as standing up to the West and reclaiming what many Russians saw as rightfully theirs. 6. Cold War 2.0. Over time, Putin grew more hostile toward the West. He opposed NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, accusing it of encroaching on Russian borders. NATO is a military alliance originally formed to counter Soviet expansion. Putin sees its growth as a threat. He also backed cyber attacks and was accused of interfering in Western elections, including the 2016 U.S. presidential race. This modern Cold War plays out with digital weapons, propaganda, and proxy conflicts. 7. The Ukraine invasion. In February 2022, Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. He claimed the goal was to denazify the country, a reference to removing what he described as neo-Nazi elements in the Ukrainian government and military. But international observers widely rejected this as propaganda. The world saw it as an unprovoked attack on a sovereign nation. The war has caused thousands of deaths, massive destruction, and the largest refugee crisis in Europe since World War II. Putin's military faced setbacks, but he remained defiant. 8. Holding on to power. How does Putin stay in control? Media control. State-run TV shapes public perception, crushing dissent. Political opponents are arrested, silenced, or exiled. Nationalist messaging. He frames Russia as under attack from the West and himself as its protector. Legal changes. In 2020, he passed constitutional reforms resetting his term limits. 9. Putin the myth. Putin carefully crafts his public image. Shirtless horseback riding, ice hockey matches with no losses, diving for ancient artifacts. These stunts build his image as a macho, unstoppable leader. To many Russians, he's a symbol of strength, order, and pride, even if the reality is far more complex. 10. What's next for Russia? Love him or fear him, one thing is clear. Putin is not just a leader, he's a force history can't ignore. A man who rose from the ashes of the Soviet Union to shape modern Russia, with methods the world continues to question. He's not just shaping Russia, he's testing the world's resolve. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Subscribe to explore more of the people and powers shaping our world. Stay curious, stay sharp. History is still being written. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. You've seen him in headlines. But behind the speeches and summits, who is Xi Jinping? Let's explore how one man rose through the Chinese Communist Party to become a global force. 1. Early life and political legacy. Xi Jinping was born in 1953 in Beijing. His father, Xi Zhongxun, was a revolutionary hero and a high-ranking official in the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, China's ruling political party since 1949. The CCP controls both the government and military and plays a central role in every aspect of Chinese leadership. During political purges, Xi's family fell from favor. As a teenager, Xi was sent to rural China for re-education through labor. There, he worked in fields and slept in caves, experiences that shaped his image as resilient and grounded. 2. Climbing the party ranks. After university, Xi slowly rose through the CCP by serving in various regional positions. He gained experience and influence while governing in multiple provinces, such as Hebei, Fujian, Zhejiang, and later Shanghai. Known for being low-key, efficient, and avoiding political factionalism, Xi earned a reputation as a pragmatic and disciplined official. In 2007, he joined the Politburo Standing Committee, the highest decision-making body in China. 3. Becoming president. In 2012, Xi Jinping succeeded former President Hu Jintao and became General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, then later assumed the role of President of China. At the time, China was economically strong, but politically cautious. Many party members saw Xi as a steady figure who could restore discipline and unity. He quickly moved to solidify his control. 4th, anti-corruption and centralization. Xi launched a sweeping anti-corruption campaign, removing thousands of officials, from local administrators to powerful generals. While popular with the public, critics argued the campaign also removed political opponents. Xi positioned himself as the core leader, a rare title signifying unrivaled authority within the party. Power became increasingly centralized under his leadership. 5. Abolishing term limits. In 2018, the Chinese Constitution was amended to remove the two-term limit for the presidency. This allowed Xi to remain in power beyond 10 years, potentially indefinitely. Reactions were mixed. Supporters saw it as a step toward stability and continuity. Critics viewed it as a shift back toward strongman politics. 6. The Chinese Dream Xi introduced the concept of the Chinese Dream, a vision of national rejuvenation. This included poverty reduction, economic modernization, military strength, and a more assertive global role. To many, it symbolized hope. To others, it meant increased central control. 7. Tech and military modernization. Xi's government has prioritized innovation, investing heavily in AI, 5G, quantum computing, and space programs. He has also expanded China's military capacity, aiming to build a world-class force by 2049. Defense budgets have grown steadily, reflecting a long-term strategy for national power projection. 8. Controlling the narrative under Xi, China has intensified media regulation and internet censorship. Social platforms are monitored, foreign apps are restricted, and narratives are tightly managed. The goal: maintain national unity, suppress dissent, and promote a cohesive national story. 9. Diplomacy and global strategy. Xi has expanded China's influence through the Belt and Road Initiative, investing in infrastructure across Asia, Africa, and beyond. He strengthened relations with countries like Russia, while tensions with the US have increased over trade, security, and tech competition. Xi presents China as a responsible global power with its own model of governance. 10. The future of Xi's China. Will Xi Jinping continue to lead China for another decade or more? His rule has transformed the country, tightened control, and redefined Chinese leadership. To some, he is the architect of a modern superpower. To others, a symbol of growing authoritarianism. What's clear is this: Xi's China is not just rising, it's watching, planning, and playing for the long term. And maybe that's no surprise. After all, this is a man who once lost everything, only to build it all back, stronger than before. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Subscribe to learn more about the people and forces shaping our world. Stay curious, stay informed, and see you next time. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. He's a dictator with a nuke in one hand and applause in the other, feared by the world, cheered by his generals. But behind the missiles and memes, could Kim Jong-un be more nervous than we think? 1. What even is North Korea? North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, was founded in 1948 after World War II. It was backed by the Soviet Union and modeled on a totalitarian state. Its first leader, Kim Il-sung, established a dynastic regime centered on military strength, isolation, and absolute control. To this day, the country remains cut off from most of the world, economically, culturally, and politically. 2. Kim Jong-il, the father of the regime. Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, ruled from the 1990s to 2011. He continued his father's policies, expanding North Korea's nuclear program and cult of personality. Despite global sanctions, he maintained control through fear, loyalty, and spectacle. He positioned North Korea as unpredictable, dangerous, and untouchable. Enter Kim Jong-un. When Kim Jong-il died in 2011, many doubted his young son could lead. Kim Jong-un was in his late 20s with limited public experience, but he quickly consolidated power. He eliminated rivals. He promoted loyal generals. He showed strength and just enough charisma to calm his nation. And then, the missiles started flying. The state of the country, North Korea, remains one of the world's poorest and most tightly controlled nations. Electricity is scarce. Food shortages are common. Internet access? Nearly non-existent. And yet the government pours resources into military parades and missile programs. Why? Because in this isolated world, missiles speak louder than words. 5. Missiles as megaphones. Each missile launch isn't just a test, it's a message. Don't forget about us. We still matter. Treat us seriously. Kim Jong-un uses rockets like press releases, calculated chaos to grab global headlines. 6. Calculated chaos. It's easy to imagine him as reckless, but many analysts say Kim is extremely cautious. He pushes limits, but not too far. He tests weapons, but avoids real war. He wants attention, but not destruction. 7. the smiling dictator. Strangely, Kim smiles a lot. He claps enthusiastically at launches. He laughs with generals. He rides horses through snowy mountains. These are more than memes. They're performance. He knows he's being watched. 8. What does he really think? Is Kim Jong-un a madman or just a man with no exit? He was born into power. He can't resign. He can't run. So he does the only thing he knows. He performs. With every launch, he keeps the world looking. 9. The loop of deterrence. North Korea's nukes are insurance. If he gives them up, he risks everything. If he keeps firing, he risks nothing, except global scolding. It's a cycle, and he's trapped in it, one launch at a time. 10. What if he wanted to stop? Here's the real twist. What if Kim Jong-un actually wants out? What if every missile is a cry for help, not war? What if deep down, he's hoping the world will turn and say, "Come on, drop the act, join us"? Could we trust him? Would we let him in? He's stuck, a man firing missiles not with confidence, but with anxiety. Every launch is done with a trembling hand, hoping it won't go too far or land on the wrong country. He performs not because he wants to, but because he doesn't know how to stop. That's what makes Kim Jong-un so dangerous and so human. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Subscribe for more strange truths and complex characters. And until next time, welcome to Zukkun Knows. What if I told you that some of the most important scientific discoveries were born in darkness? Behind every breakthrough, there's a story of ambition, obsession, and sometimes madness. Governments experimenting on their own people, psychologists turning volunteers into monsters, children tortured in the name of progress. This isn't science fiction. These are real experiments, funded, conducted, and often praised at the time. Today, we'll count down the 10 most disturbing, outrageous, and unbelievable experiments in science history. Some changed the world. Some ruined lives. All of them will make you question how far we're willing to go in the name of science. 1. The Stanford Prison Experiment. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo turned the basement of Stanford University into a mock prison. Volunteers played guards and prisoners, but things got out of hand fast. Guards became abusive, and prisoners broke down mentally. The study, meant to last 2 weeks, was shut down after just 6 days. When people are given power and roles, even ordinary individuals can become cruel. Authority can corrupt faster than we think. 2. The Milgram Obedience Study. How far would people go to obey authority? In 1961, Stanley Milgram asked participants to deliver electric shocks to a person in another room. They thought it was real, and many continued to administer what they believed were deadly shocks, just because an authority figure told them to. Humans are surprisingly obedient, even to the point of harming others, when instructed by authority figures. Unit 731, Japan's secret lab of horror. During World War II, Japan's Unit 731 conducted biological experiments on Chinese civilians. Vivisections, frostbite tests, weapon exposure. It's one of history's most horrific examples of science used as torture. The details are too gruesome to list here. Science without ethics can become a tool of pure evil. 4. The Monster Study. In 1939, researchers in Iowa conducted a stuttering experiment on orphans. Some children were praised for speech, others were belittled. The latter group developed lifelong speech issues. The study was so unethical it was hidden for decades. Words can shape lives, praise builds. Criticism can destroy. 5. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study. From 1932 to 1972, hundreds of African-American men with syphilis were studied by U.S. researchers. They were told they'd receive free health care, but weren't treated, even after penicillin became available. It was racism disguised as research. Even medicine can be used as a weapon when trust is broken. 6. Human-animal hybrids. In early 20th century Russia, scientist Ilya Ivanov tried to create a human-ape hybrid by inseminating female chimpanzees with human sperm. He failed, but the fact that this was even attempted is deeply disturbing. Curiosity without boundaries can lead us into ethical nightmares. 7. Sleep deprivation experiments. From Soviet-era tests to more recent military studies, scientists have pushed humans to the brink through forced sleeplessness. Hallucinations, paranoia, memory loss. The human mind unravels quickly without rest. Sleep is not optional. Without it, the human mind collapses into chaos. 8. The Aversion Project. In apartheid-era South Africa, gay soldiers were subjected to forced hormone treatments, electroshock therapy, and even gender reassignment surgeries to cure homosexuality. Science was weaponized to enforce ideology. Science was used to erase identity instead of understanding it. 9. MK-Ultra, America's mind control program. The CIA funded secret LSD experiments in the 1950s to test mind control. Victims were drugged without consent. Some were hospitalized, others died. The program remained classified for decades. Fear of control led to real control experiments and real damage. 10. The Baby Albert experiment. In 1920, John Watson conditioned a baby to fear a white rat by pairing it with loud, frightening noises. The baby, little Albert, became terrified not just of rats, but of all furry animals. The trauma? Never reversed. Fear can be taught, and it's hard to unlearn. Science is a double-edged sword. For every breakthrough, there are experiments that remind us of its darker side. These 10 cases are cautionary tales, reminders that curiosity without ethics can become cruelty. And yet, many of today's scientific standards were born from these horrors. The lines they crossed helped us define the ones we must never cross again. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Stick around and don't forget to subscribe for more weird and true stories. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. What if you never aged? No gray hair, no wrinkles, no death, just forever. It sounds like a dream, but for some, it's a mission. From billionaires funding secret longevity labs, to scientists reversing aging in mice, to pills that claim to reset your biological clock. The race for immortality is real. But here's the big question. If we could stop aging, should we? Today we explore the science behind human immortality, where we are, how far we've come, and what it might cost us to live forever. 1. The oldest dream in history. Since ancient times, humans have searched for the secret to eternal life. From the fountain of youth to the philosopher's stone, the idea of never dying has always fascinated us. But today, we're not looking for magic. We're using science. 2. What is aging, really? Aging isn't just about looks. It's about damage. Our cells accumulate wear and tear over time. DNA breaks, proteins misfold, systems slow down. Eventually, the body can't repair itself fast enough. 3. Telomeres. The cellular clock. At the end of your chromosomes are little caps called telomeres. They shorten every time a cell divides. When they get too short, the cell dies or malfunctions. So in a way, telomeres are like a biological countdown timer. 4. Cloning and organ regeneration. Scientists can now clone animals and grow organs in labs. Cloning copies your DNA to create new life, and organ regeneration uses stem cells to rebuild damaged tissues. Both could one day replace worn-out body parts. 5. NMN and the reversal of aging. Nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN, is a molecule found in all living things. It helps cells produce energy. In mouse experiments, NMN made old mice act young again. Stronger muscles, better metabolism. Some scientists and investors believe NMN could slow human aging. 6. Young blood experiments. Sounds like a vampire story, but it's real. Studies showed that giving old mice blood from young mice improved brain function and organ health. The exact reasons are unclear, but it's sparked interest in plasma-based therapies. 7. What about the brain? Replacing organs is one thing, but what about memory, personality, consciousness? These are tied to the brain, and we still don't fully understand how it works. Even if we stop physical aging, mental decline is another challenge. 8. Ethical concerns in billionaire backers companies like Calico, founded by Google, and Altos Labs are investing billions in longevity research. But who gets access to these discoveries? If only the rich can live forever, what happens to the rest of us? 9. A world without death? Imagine a world where people don't die. Overpopulation, generational stagnation, political power never changing hands. Would society freeze? Would innovation die? 10. The real question. It's not just can we live forever, it's should we? Aging may be painful, but it gives life meaning. Without an end, would life still matter? Science is getting closer to unlocking longevity, but immortality isn't just a medical question, it's a human one. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. If you had the chance to live forever, would you take it? Or would you choose to grow old and let go? Stick around, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep, strange, and true stories. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. What if your mind could live forever? No body, no death, just thought. Imagine uploading everything you are, your memories, your voice, your sense of self, into a machine. Would that still be you, or just a very clever copy? Science fiction says yes, but what does real science say? Today we explore the strange, thrilling, and terrifying science of mind uploading. 1. What is consciousness? Before we talk about uploading it, we need to define it. Consciousness is the feeling of being you. It includes your memories, thoughts, emotions, identity. But here's the problem. Scientists still don't fully understand what consciousness actually is. 2. Can the brain be copied? The brain is made up of about 86 billion neurons, all firing in complex patterns. In theory, if we could map every neuron and its connections, called the connectomy, we could simulate the brain. But doing that with current tech is far beyond our reach. 3. Brain-machine interfaces, BMIs. Companies like Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk, are developing brain implants that let you control machines with your mind. BMIs can already help paralyzed people move robotic arms. It's not uploading yet, but it's a step toward mind-machine fusion. 4. Recording memories. The engram theory. Scientists believe memories are stored as physical patterns in the brain called engrams. Some experiments have even transferred memories between animals. It's like copying files from one USB drive to another, but the format is biological. 5. Brain scanning tech. Advanced scanners like fMRI and two-photon microscopy can observe brain activity in real time. But scanning the brain at the level needed for mind uploading would require mapping every synapse. That's like trying to scan the internet, every wire, every signal, while it's running. 6. Copy or transfer? Even if we can upload your brain, is it really you? Or is it just a digital twin that thinks it's you? This is known as the copy problem, a huge philosophical dilemma. 7. Digital immortality and AI avatars. Some companies are working on creating digital versions of people using AI. These avatars can mimic speech, style, even personality. In the future, you might talk to a chatbot trained entirely on someone's life. But is imitation the same as identity? 8. Ethics and identity mind uploading raises questions about personhood, rights, and consent. If your mind is on a computer, who owns it? Can it be deleted, rented, copied? And what if someone uploads you without asking? 9. The loneliness of forever. Even if we upload perfectly, do we want to? Living forever as data means no body, no senses, no aging. It could be freedom or endless isolation. Can a human mind survive eternity? 10. The final thought, mind uploading isn't just about living longer. It's about redefining what it means to be human. and maybe one day, becoming something else entirely. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. Would you upload your mind if you could? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more strange, deep, and true stories. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. YouTube is the second most visited website in the world. Only Google ranks higher, and Google owns YouTube. That means the two most powerful websites on Earth are basically one company. And when it comes to video, YouTube isn't just big, it's the king. So how did a random startup become the center of the internet? Let's rewind the story. 1. The beginning. YouTube's garage origins. YouTube was created in 2005 by 3 former PayPal employees, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim. The first video ever? Me at the zoo, just 18 seconds long. Their idea, make it easy for anyone to upload and share videos online. 2. Timing was everything back then. Most websites used something called a flash player to show videos. It was clunky, slow, and didn't work on phones. YouTube changed that by moving to HTML5, a modern web technology that worked on any device. No plugins needed. That's one reason people loved it. Videos just played. In 2006, YouTube hit 100 million views per day. For comparison, TikTok today gets about 34 billion monthly visits. YouTube ? Over 50 billion. 3. The Google acquisition. In late 2006, Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion. At the time, people thought it was crazy, but Google brought stability, funding, and server infrastructure. It was the rocket fuel YouTube needed. 4. The rise of the creator. Suddenly, anyone could be famous. YouTube birthed a new class, the creator. Vloggers, gamers, educators, comedians, people who turned their bedrooms into studios. It became a platform of opportunity. 5. Monetization and the partner program. In 2007, YouTube launched its partner program, letting creators earn ad revenue. Now, making videos wasn't just fun, it could be a career. The idea of a YouTuber was born. 6. Going global. With Google's help, YouTube expanded worldwide. It launched in dozens of languages and became available in nearly every country. Local creators popped up everywhere, from Tokyo to Rio to Nairobi. 7. The algorithm. YouTube's secret weapon. What makes videos go viral? YouTube's algorithm. It started as a basic related videos list, but evolved into a powerful AI system that predicts what you want to watch next. It keeps people hooked and keeps creators chasing visibility. 8. The culture shift. YouTube changed not just entertainment, but culture. It created internet celebrities, meme formats, education trends, and political voices. For a whole generation, YouTube is TV. 9. The challenges. Controversy and control. With great power comes great problems. YouTube has faced backlash for misinformation, demonetization, censorship, and content moderation failures. Balancing free speech with responsibility remains a huge challenge. 10. Why it's still the king. Despite competition from TikTok, Instagram, and streaming platforms, YouTube remains dominant. It rewards long-form content, pays creators better, and is deeply embedded in the web. From DIY tutorials to political debates, it's where the internet thinks out loud. And here's the twist. You're probably watching this on YouTube, the king. That's how deep it runs. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows, where we use the king to explain why it's king. Stick around, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that shaped our digital world. Welcome to Zukkun Knows. For over 10 years, YouTube was untouchable. Then came TikTok, a short-form video app from China, once known for lip-syncing and dance trends, now commands billions of views a day. Lip-syncing means mimicking the movement of speaking or singing while pre-recorded audio plays. Some call it a fad, some call it the future. Today we explore how TikTok rose from nothing to challenge the king of online video. 1. Humble beginnings, Musical.ly to TikTok. TikTok began as Musical.ly, launched in 2014. It allowed users to create 15-second lip-sync videos. In 2018, it merged with TikTok, owned by Chinese tech giant ByteDance. That's when things exploded. 2. The algorithm that knows you too well. What made TikTok different? The For You page. TikTok's AI doesn't just show you who you follow, it studies your behavior. Every pause, like, and rewatch teaches the app what to feed you next. It became the most addictive algorithm on Earth. 3rd, vertical, fast, endlessly scrollable. TikTok videos are vertical, fast-paced, and full screen. No clutter, no suggested videos. Just one video at a time. It's built for smartphones and short attention spans. 4. Global takeover. In just a few years, TikTok became a global phenomenon. By 2023, it had over 1.5 billion monthly active users. In comparison, Instagram had around 2 billion. YouTube still leading with over 2.5 billion. 5. A new kind of fame. TikTok created overnight celebrities. No fancy equipment, no editing skills, just timing and creativity. It democratized fame like never before. At first, there was no formal way to make money, but by 2021, TikTok introduced the Creator Fund and other monetization tools like tips, brand deals, and live gifts. 6. The TikTok aesthetic. Raw, fast, casual, TikTok made high production unnecessary. People now expect quick cuts, captions, and handheld style, even on other platforms. 7. YouTube's response. Shorts. YouTube knew it had to react. In 2020, it launched YouTube Shorts, its own version of short-form, vertical video. It's grown fast, but still lacks TikTok's cultural grip and algorithmic punch. 8. Culture wars and censorship. TikTok has faced criticism for censorship, especially in China. The US has debated banning the app due to data privacy concerns. Despite this, TikTok continues to dominate Gen Z screen time. 9. The power of trends. TikTok isn't just a video app, it's a trend engine. It creates songs, memes, dances, and even news cycles. If it's trending, it probably started on TikTok. 10. Can the king be dethroned? YouTube still rules long-form video, education, and monetization. But TikTok has redefined what video means online. Not a replacement, but a rival. A true threat. Thanks for watching Zukkun Knows. TikTok didn't just challenge the king, it changed the game. Stick around and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that shook the digital world.